about the game were dead wrong as far as how much it cost and how much Sony really lost on it. So the big thing that you really need to know here about this is that Concord cost about $400 million to.
You heard it here, folks. Welcome back to another video that I'm providing with my game journalism. Yay! Absolutely insane, guys. And yeah, this is a big one. I didn't know what I was gonna make a video about today. I know I did post the Final Fantasy one, but that was a video I made and filmed all last night, so it was pretty chill. I was like, I need a video out today. I just need something to follow my hands. And scrolling Twitter, I beautifully found this. And oh my god! $400 million. Yes, that you heard me correctly. Sony lost eight. Now, it sounds crazy because when you look at Concord, you look at the game we played, we look at everything, you go, there's no way that this costed $400 million to even. No one ever thought that. No one thought, yep, $400 million game right here. But when you really think about it, like 8 years of production with a huge team working at Sony, and with it being Sony, they have so much money that they can just pour into things. But oh my god, bro, I'm baffled. I'm this is crazy. The game, the biggest flop of the year, the biggest flop of the century. Don't think I heard people talking good about this game, and when they were, the comments would be like, oh, people be like, oh, I like Concord. Comments would just be straight disagreeing. It was over. Everyone knew this game was gonna fail, and I don't even know what to say. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm looking here, and Concord is this failing game, and I'm like, there's no way they actually put any real effort or money into it. Then the post says here, I spoke extensively with someone who worked on Concord, and it's so much worse than you think. It was intentionally referred to as the future of PlayStation. Let's stop there. The future of PlayStation. Now you think how long PlayStation has been around. It's been around for a long, long time. And it's like, the PS5 coming out, PS5 Pro coming out. They have all these games, all these exclusives. PlayStation thought Concord out of everything they have. Now look, one thing we gotta talk about here seriously. Why is Demon Souls not ever represented? Like when they're talking about, like, when they were showing you the PS5 Pro stuff, they were showing you Last of Us, Ratchet and Clank, and some other games. Demon Souls, being one of the greatest looking games of all time, was just not shown, and they just don't care about it. I think, they gotta stop avoiding From Software. Like, look, and you could say, oh, that's not true. They love Demon Souls. Well, guess what? Where's Bloodborne 2? Where's the Bloodborne PC port? Where's getting it to 60 frames? Why didn't they talk about doing that with the PS5 Pro? We know that the PS5 base edition is capable of Bloodborne 2 or Bloodborne 6, even 60 frames. Like, but here's the thing. But none of those. They ignore ignore FromSoft. Get them out of here. The future of PlayStation was Concord. That's what they thought. And they poured $400 million. Now, that's crazy to think, because it's like, bro, there are homeless people on the street who are, trying to get their lives back together, struggling every single day. And you know what? Some company just poured $400 million into literal garbage for them to take it down and to never exist. Think, now, here's the thing, here's the catch. $400 million on designing the game. That sounds already insane. Now, let's get to something crazier. Merchandise. We saw already that they had the PS5 controller, and that was also going to be sold, and it was going to be a big thing, and they definitely made tons of them. Like, you think the standard, like, PS5 controllers, like this right here, I saw about 40 of these, of this color, in the store one time, and tons of other colors selling for $100, which is crazy. And then think, if they really believed at the time that Concord was the future of PlayStation, they would have mass produced these controllers, because they would have thought Concord was so good that everyone would be rushing to the stores to get the Concord limited edition controller. Let's not stop there. Overwatch, I'm pretty sure that Overwatch has tons and tons of merchandise. Matter of fact, I actually have a Widowmaker little, like, You know those blind bags you get where like you don't know what character you're actually gonna get until you rip it open and you see? Yeah. I have one of those. I got Widowmaker out of it. I think my friend gave it to me. But here's the thing. How many of those, how much undiscovered Concord merchandise is there? We don't know. So $400 million, then what? Then what are we getting? There's merchandise, clothes, hats, like hell, sunglasses. There's definitely a Concord PS5 edition, the same way that there's the Spider-Man PS5 edition. Concord, they were going to start selling Concord the same way that they have like keyboard and mouses when you buy a PC. Like it was going to be there. Absolutely, baffling to see this. And $400 million, $400 million, 400 million. Like let's look a little more into the little talk that they had. Let's see a little more into this.
By the time you launch it, because there's all sorts of extra stuff you do to it, but this is the minimum viability of the product. When the game had already had $200 million spent on it and was basically in an alpha form in quarter one of 2023, from that point until the game launched, Sony spent another $200 million on it. The scuttlebutt behind the scenes about Concord is that the game was in a
we watched the same thing there, right? So they pour $200 million already into the game. Or they bought the team, they bought everything. They got it from I think the original people working on Concord, and then they started working on it more and more. $200 million later, alpha state. And you can say an alpha state, $200 million, that's not acceptable at all. But having a game in the alpha state when it was, it's doable. But when you really think, alpha state is so early on. Like if you look at alpha Fortnite compared to Fortnite now, I know that's a crazy comparison, but like you look at it and you don't see the same game. You see some zombie save the world, really crappily made old game. So for the game to be $200 million in production, and they're only at an alpha state. And now think about how bad the game was. Good in the sense of gameplay, but it wasn't what anyone wanted. No one wanted Concord. And now here's the next part of the clip. The clip is that they add another $200 million onto it, right? So $400 million now. And it was in a laughable state. That had me laughing because how does that even happen? How do you let that happen? I don't mean to sound annoying or anything, I swear to God, but it's like you've spent $400 million and your game's not past a laughable state. That's so unbelievably embarrassing. And you know what? I know like the people who are working in Concord slaving away to make that game are pissed. This game, like $400 million budget. I'm just gonna do a little Google search right now. Actually, I'm really, really, really curious to see something. What was the budget of Black Myth Wukong? Now I know you guys. Alright. Black Myth Wukong has a $70 million budget. That means that Black Myth Wukong and Concord are a $330 million difference. Really let that sink into you right now. You have to let that sink in. Black Myth Wukong costs $330 million less than Concord. And this is what Black Myth Wukong looks like. And then this is what Concord looks like. And then you can let's another comparison. Let's put them on the screen here. Let's compare the Steam current players for Black Myth Wukong, and we'll compare the Concord players. Now, Concord one won't be as accurate because the game is shut down. $400 million got flushed down the shitter. I don't know, bro. I don't know how they do this. Bro, is it that hard? Just don't make a game shit. Work on it. You don't know what I'm doing a video on this too. I recently replayed Portal 1, a very simple game. A puzzle game. And I loved it. The story in it, like everything about it was creepy, it was fun, the puzzles, everything was going, I enjoyed it. It was a fun game. I'm about to start playing Half-Life. Notice something, I'm playing old games. When I go to play an MMO, I'm going to play Final Fantasy 14 or I'm going to play World of Warcraft. Both old games. Old if new games are so the future, if Concord was the future of PlayStation, tell me why I'm going back to play the original Ratchet and Clank over Concord any single day. Anyway, that's all I really gotta say. Thank you all so much for watching this video. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna, put you'll definitely see the Twitter throughout. Go drop the guy a follow for, posting it. Thank you so much for giving me content. And yeah, farming Concord again, guys. Remember, peace. Make sure to drop a sub and a like. It really helps the channel out. Thank you again on my last video. I got, in the first 15 minutes, I had 4 views and 4 likes, which is kind of insane, actually. That's like really quick. And the fact that, I checked the analytics and they actually watched the whole video, which is honestly awesome. So, YouTube, please promote that, and see you guys on the flip side.